Well, hello and a very warm welcome to my Bharata. I'm Frank Rausen Pereira. You're watching Tales of Bharata. In the previous episode, we looked at why Holika Dahan is celebrated, and I told you about the story of Hiranyakashipu and his son Prahlada. Today, let me tell you why Holi is celebrated, why is it called the Festival of Colors, and let me complete the story of Hiranyakashipu and Vishnu's Narasimha avatar. Now, Hiranyakashipu was given a boon by Lord Brahma himself, which said that he couldn't be killed by a human being or an animal, neither indoors nor outdoors, neither at day nor at night, neither by a projectile weapon nor by any handheld weapon, and neither on land nor in the water or in the air. So this made the king Hiranyakashipu arrogant. He thought that he can never be defeated, and he asked all his pupils to pray to him and treat him as God. His own son, though, Prahlada, refused to do so and continued to observe penance, continued to pray and worship Lord Vishnu. And this left Hiranyakashipu infuriated, and this is when he planned with his sister Holika to ensure that Prahlada is killed because of her own boon. And that story I'm not going to repeat again now because I've already explained that entire Holika Dahan in the previous video. So you may please watch that and get to know exactly what happened. Now, Lord Vishnu, looking at all the evil deeds that Hiranyakashipu had done, and looking at how the pitiable state of Prahlada, because Hiranyakashipu was on the verge of killing Prahlada once again. He had done it on numerous occasions. He's trying to do it ever so often. So when Prahlada was cornered, Narasimha or Lord Vishnu appeared in his Narasimha avatar, that is half human and half lion, which is neither a human nor an animal. He appeared at dusk when it was neither day nor night. He took Hiranyakashipu at a doorstep which was neither indoor nor outdoor. And what else did he do? Placed him on his lap, which was neither land, water, nor air, and then ripped open his stomach with his lion claws, which were neither a handheld weapon nor a launched weapon, and killed the evil king. So this marks the victory of good over evil. One of the reasons why Holi itself is celebrated, and that is the story of Holika Dahan as well. Let me also now tell you about why Holi is celebrated as the festival of colors. But before that, we need to understand that Holi is an ancient festival. It has been celebrated over the yugas. If you look at this particular episode of Hiranyakashipu that I'm talking to you about, it happened during the Satya Yuga. Now, if you look at the festival of colors and how it came about, you have to come back many years further and come back to from the fourth avatar of Lord Vishnu in the form of Narasimha to the eighth avatar of Lord Vishnu as Lord Krishna. And that is the association that Holi has with colors. And that is what we need to understand now. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about now. So, as we all know, Lord Krishna grew up in Mathura. He had his own challenges in life. Kamsa was after him and was going to kill him, and he was saved in the nick of time. For those of you who want to know more about that story as well, I'll narrate it at another time. But right now, let's focus on Holi. So the way Krishna looked was very different from the people of Mathura where he was raised. And his mother, Yashodama, saw Krishna's yearning love and desire towards Radha, and somewhere felt that Krishna was feeling, there was a sense of inferiority complex within him and he could not approach Radha. So that's when Yashodama finally tells him, go and smear or apply some color on her face. Do so on your face as well. And you look the same, so you can start communicating and start speaking to Radha and all the other Gopikas as well. So that is another story as to why Holi is celebrated. Is celebrated as the divine love between Radha and Krishna as well. But the story is not just that, it goes beyond that. So it's not just Radha and Krishna who had color on their faces. The entire town decided to indulge in the festivities and colored themselves in beautiful colors to show Krishna that they were all with him. They are all alike. There is no need to worry about skin color and skin tone. And in one go, just brushed aside this whole problem that continues to hold this world even today. Racism across the world is such a big issue, but so many thousands of years ago, it was dealt with in this way by the people of Mathura, by telling Krishna that we are all one, we are all the same, and we are all with you. So this is another reason why Holi is celebrated and why Holi is celebrated as the festival of colors. So we went through the first era, or we went through an era that is through the Satya Yuga, with the story of Hiranyakashipu and Prahlada and Holika, and how good over evil is celebrated as Holi. This is another reason, festival of colors. And we have to go back to another era completely and look at some of the other traditions as to how the festival of Holi began to be celebrated and how this episode 2 is also associated with Holi. Now it is linked to Lord Shiva in deep meditation. The Devatas, namely Indra, wanted to bring back Shiva into the conscious realm, because the Devatas wanted Parvati and Shiva to meet so that their offspring could put an end to the evil Asura, Tarakasura. Now that is a very interesting story as well. I'm going to leave that story too for another time, and I will narrate the story of Tarakasura and how he was killed, the relationship between Shiva, Parvati and Skanda Gurunatha as well is for another time. But for now, so Indra sought the help of Kamadeva, the god of love, to ensure that Shiva is brought back into the conscious realm so that he can meet Parvati. So now on Basant Panchami, the god of love shot an arrow at Mahadev, and this was done so that he can fall in love with Parvati. Shiva woke up at that very instant, came back to the conscious realm, and he was disturbed and infuriated with Lord or Devata Kama. And what Lord Shiva then does is he opened his third eye and burnt Kama to ashes. Now this left Rati or Kamadevi, Kama's wife, in a complete state of sorrow. She then performed her own set of penances for 40 days, after which Shiva then finally forgave Kama and took notice of Rati's penance and forgave Kama out of compassion and restored him back. This return of the god of love, this time he did not restore him back in his original form, but ensured that he was always around and Rati could see him. This incident or this instance is called as Kama Dehan. That is another story in itself as well. So keep watching My Bharata to ensure that you get to know more about all these beautiful stories that are a part of our heritage and our culture. I'll keep narrating them to you in this very way. So now back to this particular episode of Holi now that I'm talking about. So the return of the god of love is celebrated on the 40th day after Basant Panchami as the festival of Holi. The Kama legend and its significance, of course, to Holi has many other variant forms as well, especially in South India. And I'll continue to keep narrating all these stories for you For that, you have to keep watching My Bharata and keep supporting us. Ensure that you like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon too, and spread the word about My Bharata so that more people get to know about us. That is my humble request to you. Until next time, this is Frank Rausen Pereira signing off.